what I have noticed is that that emotionally I'm becoming less and less comfortable with gold moving higher and higher. And if that's what's happening, it's not that I don't want it to happen. It's that like every step it moves higher, I see that you can feel it in your bones that the monetary system is coming apart. Like gold at 2,400, gold at 2,500, gold at 2,600 just doesn't stop. It's almost at 2,700 now. It's like 2,680, 2,690, something like that. And I look at the number. I'm like, good, okay, we're closer.
Gold prices have changed significantly over the past 50 years, influenced by many economic and political events. However, if you had instead invested in September 2011, near gold's previous peak of around $1,900, your $200 would have only bought about 0.11 ounces of gold. By September 2024, at $2,600 per ounce, that investment would be worth about $286, a 43% total return, or 2.8% annualized over 13 years. This highlights the importance of entry timing and the variability of returns. Rafi Farber, from the Endgame Investor on Substack, dives deep into market corrections and the unraveling of the global monetary system. Rafi highlights gold's steady surge to new all-time highs, noting its relentless rise. He acknowledges Alasdair Macleod's technical insights on COT reports, but admits feeling uneasy as gold prices continue to escalate. After hitting record highs for the last 6 days, the gold market is taking a breather as it experiences some technical selling pressure heading into the weekend. Based on fundamentals, Rafi discusses the growing financial restrictions in Israel, particularly proposed legislation that could outlaw certain cash units and potentially target gold ownership. He points out that Israel's 1984 hyperinflation didn't lead to a ban on gold, and religious items made from precious metals would likely be protected. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is considering limiting citizens' right to own precious metals as part of a series of sweeping changes to help fight financial crime. One proposal is to ban private ownership of large quantities of cash alternatives, such as gold, silver, and valuable coins. Economists have suggested that Israel could increase its tax revenues by $24 to $31 billion by 2030 with effective measures against black market money. Now, we present the clips of Rafi Farber's insights from his recent interview. Before we continue to discuss this, please subscribe to our channel and activate the bell icon for timely updates.
Oh, wait, let's talk about gold. New all-time highs almost every day now. When's the last time it went down? I don't even know. Let's just like step away for a second from the price action. I think Alasdair Macleod is writing a lot about the COT reports and the managed money, and he has a lot to say about that. You can go check him out for the technicals on that, and he knows a lot more about that than I do. But what I have noticed is that that emotionally I'm becoming less and less comfortable with gold moving higher and higher. And if that's what's happening, it's not that I don't want it to happen. It's that like every step it moves higher, I see that you can feel it in your bones that the monetary system is coming apart. Like gold at 2,400, gold at 2,500, gold at 2,600 just doesn't stop. It's almost at 2,700 now. It's like 2,680, 2,690, something like that. And I look at the number. I'm like, good, okay, we're closer. But first of all, I don't know if I'm going to be affected. I don't think they're going to say you can't own any gold at all, because that's insane. Because a lot of people have some amount of gold, and let's say they're going after everyone who owns 5-6 ounces or whatever. That's they don't have the manpower to do that. No time to do that. And I don't think that's what they're going to aim at. I think they're going to aim at the big, really rich people, just like the income tax started with the super wealthy with Woodrow Wilson, the top 1%. I think they're going to go after the big businessmen who they suspect or know have a sizable amount of gold somewhere in a vault somewhere. I don't think there's that many people. But once I see what is going to be restricted, if the Israeli authorities want to figure out who has gold, they just got to go to YouTube. They'll find me. There's nothing else. There's nothing I can hide. Right. So my idea is basically, if Israel wants to go door to door, I don't think they're going to. Right now, this is just a suggestion. Let's not go too far with it. It's just an idea, and it could be shot down by the Bank of Israel, which is not very intent on banning the 200 shekel bill now. And let's remember also that Israel had a hyperinflationary episode in 1984. Right, the old shekel died. It's called the new shekel for a reason, and they didn't ban gold and silver back then. And so basically, my idea is I don't have that much gold. I don't have like piles of it. I'm not Scrooge McDuck. I have a little bit, but that's it. I mean, and so what can I do? I can make a menorah out of it. I can make a Kiddush cup out of it, or something like that, or some kind of religious article. The Israeli government is not going to come here with jackbooted thugs stealing religious Jewish articles from its citizenry because that looks exactly like Nazis. They're not going to do it. There's a wall here. Okay. Big government, and this country was founded by communists. I understand that, but Judaism is bigger and it's more powerful than they are because we all know where we come from. So I can hide behind that. I'm confident I can. I'm staying here because I know that I'm not going to escape gold confiscation by leaving, because if it happens here, it's going to happen everywhere else too. We led people into the medical tyranny. If we choose to, we will lead people into financial tyranny. It's up to us. And I hope this time we choose the right thing and we get that maniac out of the finance ministry as soon as possible. I don't know how, or God just steps in and saves us from our own insanity.
Regarding the Israeli shekel, Rafi Farber explains it as a derivative of the US dollar, which is tied to gold. He predicts that Israelis may turn to foreign currencies like the dollar or euro if shekel cash is removed. He further suggests that gold and silver coins could become viable for transactions without functional currency. The Bank of Israel has expressed reservations about Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's proposal to axe the 200 shekel banknote as part of the fight against black market activity and criminal organizations in the country. The Israeli shekel dropped to its lowest level against the US dollar on Tuesday evening after a security incident in Lebanon left dozens injured, sparking further regional tension, Anadolu agency reports. Drawing a comparison to FDR's gold confiscation, Rafi Farber highlights the difficulty of restricting access to cash, foreign currencies, or gold. He predicts that in a hyperinflationary scenario, people would be much more resistant to surrendering their gold, complicating any potential confiscation effort.
Because in my way of thinking, and I think my way of thinking is the right way of thinking about this, a shekel is just a derivative, right? It's there's a pyramid, right? The pyramid starts with gold and silver. On top of that are fiat currencies beginning with the dollar and then other dollar derivatives. The shekel on the pyramid is a dollar derivative because the shekel is a unit of liability of the Bank of Israel. And the Bank of Israel doesn't own any gold. They own dollars. Dollars, theoretically, the Fed owns some gold or gold certificates that are in Fort Knox, representing about 8,000 tons or whatever it is. So the shekel is a dollar derivative and the dollar is a gold derivative. So the point is that when you give somebody a 200 shekel bill, the government can't track it. So but the reason that people use 200 shekel bills at all is because they're functional dollar derivatives, which are functional gold derivatives. So if you want to stay out of the system, you don't have to use shekels. You can use other foreign currencies, right? If there's no shekel cash, there's going to be dollar bills trading around and euros and whatever else going to be trading around in Israel. I remember when I made Aliyah, when I moved here in 2007, my rent, when I first moved, was in dollars. It was not in shekels because the shekel was a lot more unstable back then in 2007. It kept changing value, and so landlords couldn't really charge their rent in shekels. So we used dollars. I gave cash to my landlord. If the shekel works, but you don't have cash, and let's say the dollar doesn't work, or even if it does, you can still pass around gold or silver coins, gold for big purchases. You could, if there's no functional currency, you could give gold to your landlord or to whoever else to pay for goods and services, because if there's no other cash and you want to keep your transactions to yourself, then you do it outside the bank system. You do it with gold and silver coins. Obviously, we're not going to use gold and silver coins directly until there's really no currency that's functional. But that's what's going to happen when it's no longer functional. So in order to lock us into a financial prison, you not only have to lock us out of cash, you have to lock people out of all foreign currencies, and then you got to lock people out of gold. which is basically what FDR did, right? But it's a very different matter to lock people out of gold at a time when the dollar or the currency is rising in purchasing power, as it was during the Great Depression. People needed dollars desperately, so they were okay with selling their gold to the Fed in exchange for $21 and whatever cents it was. But in a hyperinflationary economy, people are not going to be so keen on just giving up their gold to the government. It's going to be a mess.
The gold market continues to rush from record high to record high. Nevertheless, the high price level is likely to slow the physical demand for gold, according to Commerzbank's commodity analyst Barbara Lambrecht. How do you think economic policies impact the demand for gold and silver in the years ahead? And could we see a push toward alternative financial systems? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video informative, don't forget to support our channel and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos. See you in the next video.